Surviving by the skin of your teeth is one thing. These are something else. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 scenarios the hero could not have survived. Much like our first list, we're taking a look at the most disastrous and dangerous scenes in movies that our favorite characters somehow managed to survive. Again, we're discounting the use of magic and we're only counting human characters. So, Caesar the Ape surviving a fall after being shot is on another list for another day. Also, as you may have expected, a spoiler alert is in order. Number 10. Saving Letty, Fast and Furious 6.
Oh look, a bridge.
They say speed kills, but Vin Diesel would beg to differ.
There's gotta be a breakup ahead!
After the group of speedsters chases down a tank in an awesome action climax, Letty is sent skyrocketing into the air with nothing but the ground to break her fall.
Rise that Mustang and make a nice anchor!
Yeah, I'm on it.
Seizing his opportunity to prove Sir Isaac Newton wrong, Dom launches himself from his car to catch her by jumping from one side of the bridge to the other. Thankfully, a random car windshield is on hand to bring the two back to safety completely and impossibly unscathed. Number 9. Space Jumping, Star Trek Into Darkness.
Launching activation sequence on 3, 2, 1.
Captain, the physics in this scene are most illogical.
Sir, Kirk is headed for collision at point 432.
Captain, there is debris directly ahead.
Copy that.
With Kirk and Khan space jumping their way towards the USS Vengeance, they hit a few tiny snags in their flight, namely some stray debris.
Whoa, Jim, you're way off course.
I know, I can see that.
Kirk manages to maneuver his way to safety while picking up several serious cracks in his helmet. Not to mention, the odds of them actually hitting their target to begin with are astronomically small.
I'm working my way back. Scotty, you're gonna be ready with that door, right?
Add in Kirk and Khan's hard-hitting, yet somehow not bone-breaking landing, and you have one impossible scenario.
Sorry about this.
Oh, what? Mr. Scott, open the door.
Open the door!
Mr. Scott, now.
Number 8. Many henchmen, one giant explosion. Commando. A scene that perpetuates the uselessness of every henchman featured in this movie sees Arnie at his most death-defying. Amid a massive gunfight with hundreds of bullets flying at him and no reloading, Arnie shrugs off the attacks of his wannabe killers by literally running away in a straight line. Even the worst stormtrooper in real life would have scored at least one lucky shot. Getting bored with his sprint, John Matrix sets off a massive explosion, which takes out his attackers, but not himself. Hey, it's just another day in the life of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 7. Plane crashes and kidney stabbings. World War Z. If there's anything that film teaches us, it's that airport security should have tougher screening processes for potential zombie passengers. After an infected passenger manages to run riot across a plane, Jerry takes the best course of action and uses a grenade to send the flight smashing into the land below. A zombie attack and a plane crash aren't enough, of course. No, our hero awakens with what looks like his kidney stabbed by a piece of aircraft debris, after which he falls hard on his side. Yet he lives, reminding us all that you don't really need your vital organs anyway. Number 6. The Trailer Truck. The Lost World, Jurassic Park. If you make enemies with a dinosaur, make sure to make friends with gravity.
Hang on to something! Hang on to something!
After an incredibly hefty truck is pushed off the edge of a cliff, Logic decides to take a day off and allows the weight of the bulky vehicle to remain suspended by a mere cable instead of, falling.
Ah!
Meanwhile, Inside the truck, Julianne Moore is balancing precariously on a window that cracks every time she breathes.
Oh God, please.
Don't move!
Her tactic of lifting her hand would actually speed her demise by putting all of her weight onto one pressure point on the weakened glass. But despite literally hanging by a thread, it seems that Jeff Goldblum was right all along, and that life finds a way. Or is that Dr. Grant?
Give me your hand. Give me your hand, honey.
Number 5. Frank Castle will not die. The Punisher. It takes a certain kind of man to survive attacks that Wile E. Coyote would have had a hard time crawling away from. Retired FBI agent Frank Castle attends a family reunion in Puerto Rico, only to meet an unfortunate end at the orders of John Travolta. Or so you'd think. Castle suffers multiple bullet wounds, gets the snot beaten out of him, is shot point blank in the chest, and then, when the dock he's on is doused with gas and set ablaze, he's blown to a watery doom. Except he survives and is nursed back to perfect working order. Maybe this would work in the comic books, but on screen, it's impossible to suspend enough disbelief to buy it. Number 4. The Bunker. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
Steve, we got a bogey. Short-range ballistic. 30 seconds tops.
Who fired it?
Shield.
After discovering a hidden bunker built by Hydra, the Cap and Black Widow are subjected to a horrendous fate. 5 minutes of pure exposition.
We are both of us out of time.
Adding insult to injury, they then learn that an imminent drone strike is headed their way at that very moment. Being the quick-thinking guy that he is, Cap manages to shield himself and Widow under a nearby grate, as fire and rubble consume the bunker. Assuming they survived the blast, which is unlikely to begin with, how the heck could he withstand the weight of an entire building on his head and then push his way out of it? Oh well, I guess he's just that strong. Number 3. The Dam. The Fugitive. Dr. Richard Kimball certainly makes a name for himself by cheating death in this early 90s classic.
I didn't kill my wife! I don't care!
After escaping his journey to death row and being hunted down by U.S. Marshal Samuel Gerard, Kimball is cornered at the edge of a viaduct with no way to escape, except for a 220-foot dive towards the deadly waters below.
Get out on your knees! Right now!
Chancing his fate, he takes the plunge and crashes into the deep water. Surprisingly though, he doesn't get dragged under by the current like science might suggest. With his impressive diving skills, Kimball survives to carry on his mission to clear his name and find the one-armed man. Number 2. Jumping from an exploding roof. Die Hard.
Oh, John, what the fuck are you doing? How the fuck did you get into this shit?
A street-smart New York cop has been given the superpower of cheating death.
I promise I will never even think about going up in a tall building again.
It seems that walking through glass barefoot isn't enough for Bruce Willis, as he gets his adrenaline flowing once again by leaping from the exploding roof of the Nakatomi Plaza. This time barefoot and shirtless.
Please don't let me die.
And what is keeping him from plunging to his inevitable doom? The loose grip of a fire hose. You don't need a degree in physics to see how this might not be possible. And it wasn't the last time John McClane would survive an epic jump out of a window. When exactly is McClane gonna die hard himself? Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Where'd you come from, man? Where'd he come from?
He came back to save us.
You saved us?
Yeah, that's right, man.
Number 1. The Stairwell Plunge. The Bourne Identity. Matt Damon tries to make out that he's an invincible video game character, but even in video games, you take damage from falling. Stuck deep in a tense firefight across many flights of stairs, Jason Bourne decides to grab himself the upper hand by using the body of a downed henchman as both a human shield and a crash mat. Falling through the building, making sure to shoot a bad guy on the way down, Bourne takes a few minutes to catch his breath before standing tall on his feet once again. No obvious broken bones or shattered teeth, just a slight cut on the forehead. The dude walks away like nothing unusual just happened. Do you agree with our list?
Don't move!
What's your favorite scenario that the hero could have never survived? For more death-defying top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.